I'm giving somebody the blues today.
This is why we're having this conversation, because so far we've always tunneled vision on the wrong characters. We always told ourselves it was going to be this one thing and no other thing is viable. We did that over and over and over again, where we denied the evidence. And we're kind of doing that now, one could say, right? Time will tell. But we're really walking this line of it's either going to be Marduk or Kunimitsu. And, with all of the evidence we were previously talking about, another piece of evidence is that Marduk is Harada's favorite character and Fahkumram is Murray's favorite character. And then Fahkumram's shorts are blue, Marduk gloves are blue. Now, in the comment section of this, someone says, isn't Fang's Harada's favorite? And I say, he has many, but Marduk isn't in Tekken 8. Harada has many favorite characters: Fang, Marduk, Panda, Miharu, Ganryu, right? Those are just a few. There may be a couple more, but note the ones who aren't in Tekken 8. Marduk. And then another one is Ganryu. Now, the video that I showed this person as like evidence of Harada saying Marduk is his favorite, listen to the other name he say.
For Harada-san personally, it would be either Marduk or Ganryu, because those are two characters he uses quite often.
Ganryu's purple. He's also Harada's favorite. He's also not in Tekken 8. What is the likelihood of them going up on the Evo Vegas stage and showing a Ganryu to the world? In the last trailer that they did for Tekken 7 for him, they played into this idea that no one liked him. He says, wait a second, is it me or did the other announcer get more applause? And then he says, I came all this way to Bangkok for this. Make some noise. And this is when the whole crowd cheers and celebrates and whatnot, right? And then Ganryu says, wonderful. So basically, this is the developers playing into the idea that no one really likes Ganryu. And, he has to like beg for the people to celebrate in order for him to get some, time in the sun. So the developers are fully aware that he's not the most popular character, right? And they added him at a time in Tekken 8 or Tekken 7 when there was a lot of other characters already in the game, right? You had the Armor Kings out the way, the Julias, Marduk was already there, Miguel, all of the characters that, people are dying for now are there already, right? So putting a character like this in a game, it's something that you can do and people will be like, oh, okay, all right, whatever, But doing it now, putting Ganryu in Tekken 8 before Armor King, I think everyone would agree that's not a smart idea. But the reason why I'm walking down this path of Ganryu is because of what Harada tweeted. Someone responded to Leroy Smith's birthday post. We need new characters, different styles of Kung Fu, tax Harada. Harada says, we already have characters representing Aikido and Tai Chi. Tekken also features a unique Kung Fu style characters. Many members of our team have actually trained in various martial arts, so we have plenty of options to explore, but they do tend to be a bit niche after all. We've already covered most of the well-known and classic martial arts styles. Do you guys know who is Aikido and who is Tai Chi in Tekken? Okay, yeah, Asuka uses Aikido. So who uses Tai Chi? Feng Wei uses Tai Chi. Now that we got this question out of the way, let's go back to what he actually said. When you ask people what fighting style are they currently missing from Tekken, it's tough to really answer that question. The only thing people could really go back to is like a Krav Maga. What's that other fighting style that people always talk about? But there's like a couple of like ones out there that the player base kind of repeats over and over again. But even then, it's only like 3 or 4. What's a fighting style that they haven't done yet that you're dying to see? Someone responds to Harada. They say absolutely nothing, and it's just a gift of Ganryu doing some like OP DLC garbage where he grabs you, throw you in the air for a full launcher. But Harada says to this, I've been saying this for decades. In quotes, Ganryu is currently on his way to the Iron Fist tournament venue. Whether he makes it on time depends on the moment. So this is the Tekken 7 statistics. If you want to find Ganryu, you got to go all the way down to the bottom. The only characters who are under him is the Bears and Eliza. The Eliza mains who think that Eliza's going to be announced at Evo, this isn't too pretty. Thank you, Harada. I'm very happy to see you always giving love to Ganryu. Can't wait for the day where he finally makes it back on time. So I did a deep search on Harada's Twitter to see all the times he tweeted the name Ganryu, and we're just going to see what he's been saying, right? Wait, someone says, when are you going to release Ganryu? Harada says, I think too much sexy. But then someone says, hey Harada, I understand Ganryu isn't popular, but does he have a illegitimate child or estranged child or student? I'm not against the idea, but just in the current time that we're at, they should be focusing on the icon characters, and he could do wacky ideas like this later. I think they really messed up with pushing Ganryu down this like goofball route. And the weird thing is, wasn't he after Michelle first, but then Michelle disappeared and now he just is after the daughter? So weird. I think they should drop that plot line. The same way they wanted Fakuram to be feared and intimidated, that's how the sumo wrestler should be. They really killed his personality with making him a streamer. First, they made Julia a streamer, and then he loves Julia, so he's a streamer because he wants to be like her, which is it's just so bad. They need to just say Ganryu was drunk when all that was going on, and he sobered up, blaming on the alcohol. Harada says, no, you misunderstand, but Ganryu is so popular in Japan. That's why he has such a following that fans protest in front of our office every morning. However, Ganryu is on his way every time, so it's just up to him to make it in time. This is something that I've been trying to highlight a lot, because this is really why Tekken 8 is the way that it is. Harada is trying to make Tekken popular again in Japan, because we see what it's doing for Street Fighter. Their 24-hour peak is 31,000. Now players on right now is about 8,000. Tekken 8 isn't doing too hot right now, but when Tekken 8 was doing good, its peak was also 8,000. Tekken 8 and Street Fighter were equal in terms of players, but then when that clock ticks over to Asia region, all of a sudden they gain 20,000 plus players. This is what Harada wants. He wants that Asia population to wake up and play Tekken. And he's trying to figure out different ways to make that happen. Tekken Bloodline was an anime series that released back in like 2022, right? They marketed it heavy in Tokyo, talking about how desperate Harada is for the Japanese audience. The fact that Ganryu is popular in Japan, that becomes a very important factor. If there's a time, if there's a place, if there's a way, Harada's going to slip Ganryu in. But that's the thing. Can he? Can he do that right now? You have multiple other characters who are popular globally. One thing that you got to talk about for Harada as well is what he said about the player base of each region. And this is where things get really weird. So this is from Harada, where he says the popularity of major fighting game titles in Asia is about the same and not much different, right? I don't know if that's true anymore, because Street Fighter blew them out of the water. But this is before Street Fighter 6. This is before the gap was created. However, in terms of the share of Tekken alone, Japan 3%, Europe is 50%, 35 to 37% is North America. It's a weird thing where Street Fighter was able to do something magnificent and Tekken is trying to copy them. But instead of just playing to their strengths and catering to the audience that they already have, which is Europe and NA, they are going against those and trying to cater to Asia. It's a weird marketing strategy, because in my opinion, you should just continue playing into Europe and NA. And one could argue they did that with Lydia. But if you talk about the DLC characters, I don't think Tekken 8 has got a DLC character that's NA yet. We have an EU, which is Lydia. We have an Asia, which is Heihachi. We have a South America, which is Eddie. We don't have an NA yet. And it would be weird to skip NA and go back to doing a Japan-Asia character. Here's another tweet from Harada where he's talking about, someone says, Ganryu is too sexy, Harada. We couldn't handle him. Harada says, oh, it's true. I forgot that he is too sexy to pass the rating views. Harada says, I'm thinking he will be a problem in the world because he is too, what? He is too much sexy fighter. Too much. That boy Harada. Someone says, I really want to see female sexy Tekken Force in Tekken. Harada says, it's impossible for the same reason as Ganryu. Too much sexy. She was supposed to be put into Tekken 6, but the age rating would have needed to be increased because her outfit was too revealing. She was too sexy. And Harada's basically saying this is the same reason we couldn't put Ganryu in there. He's too sexy. Ganryu is a sexy beast. Thanks, Harada. You're protecting me from the sexy. Oh my God. Just as I was about to say, I don't know how many more of these sexy Ganryu tweets I can read. Someone says, which female character has the biggest cup size in Tekken? Harada said, Ganryu. Harada responded and says, Emily Day Rochford will marry Ganryu? Ganryu is 55. Lily is 18.
Wow, such robust eyebrows. Just like my father's. No, I can't. I must remain focused until I've defeated Mishima. You have a strapping face, but you're not very good, are you?
What? Lily loves Ganryu more than Asuka. So the person in the chat who was saying that Lily this and Asuka that, boom. Do we have anything else we want to say about Ganryu being DLC? We're in dangerous territory. Yeah, this is crazy. We got to wrap up this conversation.